Yep, we're live. Yep. Welcome to the last BioDevils podcast of the year. I'm here with a ton of guests, so I'm going to let each and every one of them introduce themselves. So whoever wants to go first, and we'll try to work our way from there. So if Brandon or somebody wants to go first.
Really got to introduce
Alright.
yourself.
Hello, you guys know me. I'm Brandon, co-host of BioDevils and whatnot. And that one's a casual.
Oh, so that's how it's gonna be. Okay.
You already know.
I'm taking your mod stat,
You
though.
already know, man.
Wow, ain't that just a bitch move? says the anonymous person that no one has ever heard of on this podcast.
Illuminati song.
Hello, I am Levy the Amishman. I'm that one guy that no one seems to know about.
Racism.
I am the Wanderer. They call me Wanderer. I roam around.
I am Kung Fu Panda, fear me.
I am the booty overlord.
I am Jack Black. What? Okay, right. It's because I almost look like Jack Black. Is that it?
I didn't say anything about that, man. You want to be like Jack Black and have sex for your Xbox
Hey,
360?
Jack Black.
Okay, I'm done. I'm out.
This is one way to start off a podcast, I guess.
A lot of slander, I see.
Alright, so I'm Renegade Opera. What's up, people? What's going on? Good to be here on the BioDevil podcast yet again.
And then,
Let's Meister go.
Me?
Yep.
Yes.
yeah, whoever wants to.
I'll
My
go.
name's Lester.
Oh, Lester.
Some people call me Knucklepaw, but you call me either one. And I'm honored to be here. So thank you guys.
And I am Brian Word, aka Silver Angel, aka somebody not everybody here knows. So I'll be the token black guy for the evening.
Wait, it's the token black guy. Teach us your wisdom.
First of all,
Yeah, tell us how black guys can survive in horror movies. I think we really need that advice.
I also want to know your advice on how you shower.
Okay.
Shower black man
movie-
confirmed.
Okay. I'm gonna answer those two questions.
What?
You want to survive a horror movie? Keep away from the white people.
Damn, man.
Actually, no. Another one would be stay away from me because I would hide all the weapons.
No, you'll be looking at the damsel's ass the whole time. And then you get eaten by a zombie because you're a dumbass.
Hey, I ain't a dumb. No, I would be that one guy from fucking High School of the Dead.
Which guy?
The guy that the sniper guy.
You talking about the fat kid who got all the weapons?
Yes, the guy who could actually make weapons and actually snipe worth of shit.
I'll be the purple-haired chick.
Yeah, be a woman.
That be
If you
Get
kick more
in
ass than
touch
you,
with your feminine side.
anyways, token black guy. Second question needs to be answered.
Oh, second question. How do we shower? Not just with soap, but with a rag. That's all you need to know.
and also, what alcohol should I look into? 40.
Daniels.
What? 40-ounce Patron?
Did someone say Jack Daniels?
No.
Yep.
Jack Daniels is taking it too far.
Nothing is taken too far, my dear gentlemen.
Oh no, man! I've seen some craziness. It's ooh, man.
So has anyone else did their introductions?
Yeah, we have.
This is the intro. What are you talking about?
This is the best
Oh
intro
God.
ever.
No one's gonna know me then.
Oh my God, Levy, why?
Because I am a crazy white person. No.
See, this is what. See, Levy, that's who we stay away from in the horror movies, or at least we try to, but we get written out as hanging with the crazy white person. That's why we die.
Crazy white person goes left.
They
It
look
looks like so
Everyone
many
goes-
people die and scream.
So many people.
God.
Or triple the shoes.
So many people die in Grand Theft Auto.
We have
No,
four more
no,
people that
no.
should introduce themselves.
Yeah. Like
So,
Darkstalker's there.
Yep.
The guy
Hi.
stalking the group.
Well, I'm good at that. Hi, I'm Darkstalkers47, first time here. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Thanks for coming on, and that's to everyone who's here today, for first-time guests and also returning guests, Renegade Operative. So thanks so much for coming back on, or coming here for the first time.
All right.
And then who else did we have? We had James, and then
It
James.
is I. Yes, Kaneki indeed. And Renegade loves that panda from Tekken 3, you know?
The guy who loves baseball.
Wait, I have a question. Who are you?
Oh, me?
Hey, who are you?
It's Vega, you know, for Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's me. Man.
Vegan.
What?
Order.
Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck
Oh, you don't want to get the booty. Okay, I see. You're gonna get the man booty.
That's what you're
Okay,
reaching for right now.
and-
Oh, okay. There's a lot of gay shit. I need to get drunk with that.
What the hell was that?
I'm about to say, I did not sign up to meet Felice Johnson.
I didn't sign up for this either, so I'm gonna just take my shot so I can get that image and also what he said out of the way, Kaneki. Fuck you.
So drunk
Sure thing,
podcast
come
confirmed. This is
Oh, you're
the
doing
first
it because
for the
I
Wild
spent
Devils.
Devil's
Hey,
podcast.
hey, this will be
is
the
gonna be
first
the
that someone will get drunk on it because, hey, it's the last one of the year. Party naked, guys.
Oh my
Oh, wait,
god.
hold on.
Wait, we were supposed to be wearing clothes while doing this?
Okay, I'm out. Good night. Don't worry.
we made a brother rage quit. I mean, not Brandon.
Oh my God.
Like what?
Left me over there looking like Pimp Daddy.
No, I was about to strip out my shirt.
Oh,
No,
my
you
God.
keep that shit on, okay?
alright.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we have
Fine, fine. We
Lester
need people to.
Kaneki who should introduce
I think
themselves
Les-
as well.
Lester
Or
and
unless
Kaneki
if Lester already went, I don't.
I would have.
James,
Oh,
James.
So
I think
that's all, James. Then.
Yeah, James.
You fuckers already know me. I really gotta give the intro for the 1,000th time.
Yes.
Wait. Who the fuck are you? Explain to people that are new to this podcast that don't know who you are.
I am the pro DMC player. Everybody else here is a scrub.
Yeah.
Get him a level.
Whatever.
Should
Hey,
I
get into my car. We need to have a chat.
Whoa, that
Oh.
sounds mighty kinky. I don't
Only
know
if you
about that,
bring
Levy.
some girls. Otherwise, I'm not going anywhere.
I was about to say, that is the
Yeah.
wrong kind of kink we're looking for here.
Oh, lure him in with some candy and some Pop Tarts.
No. It's like. Come on, James. Come with me. I got Fireball.
See, when you say come
You're
with
gonna have a
me,
hard time getting me over there because
Brian, don't even start.
Levy, if there's no fox girls, I'm not in.
Oh, don't worry. Oh, don't worry. If you take a lot of shots of these, you'll be seeing Fox Girls.
Hey, I'm gonna see you try to make a move. Hell no.
oh gosh.
Anyway, I think. Anyways, I think we should get started with some of the news topics that we have. So, in some minor news, there is a dungeon crawler inspired, Game Boy dungeon crawler inspired game that's coming out with a playable demo. Apparently, it's called Into the Dim.
That
So,
sounds interesting.
Into the.
Yeah,
Alright.
it is the first link in the chat if you guys can see it.
Excuse me.
No, I had to refresh my thing. That's
Oh,
why.
I'll repaste that for you. So,
There we go. There's all the links.
There we go.
All the
Yep.
spam.
Yeah, so it's the very top link up there. So it is Into the Dim, and it's apparently got a playable demo.
Into the nothing.
What else do we got?
For what system though? Oh, iOS.
Yep.
Fuck iOS. I'm not interested.
Yeah, if it's
Steamo
on the
is for the
phone.
win. Careful.
Yeah, if it's on the phone, I'm not interested.
If it was on Steam, then sure. Why not?
If I could get a copy of it, a physical copy, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Go on with the physical copy. Give us a physical copy. If not, I'm just gonna sip my alcohol.
I will say though that it is nice to see it getting a demo though, because I mean, how often do we get demos in this day and age?
Dude, we get paid
Not
demos. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
Metal Gear
Whoa,
Solid Ground
Konami.
Zeroes, anyone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Yeah.
retro
Which-
style
oh.
of the game is
Oh,
definitely
awesome.
appealing as well.
Oh, also let's not forget Dead Rising 2 Case Zero.
Oh yeah, trash.
Hey, that was also a playable demo because it showed people what Dead Rising 2 was supposed to be.
No,
And
no,
what-
I'm not saying it's bad in terms of quality. I just hate the practice.
Mm.
No,
think
but
a
then
lot of
again,
people
then again, they charged only $5, which was, is it worth it for $5? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like it's $5. It's not like it's
Not
40
or 30
or
bucks.
50. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna charge that much for a demo, it's not even a demo at that point.
Mine would be a full game.
Yeah, it's a full
Yeah.
fucking game. That's really fucking short.
Hello, Konami.
Oh,
Ground Zeroes.
We're gonna talk about them a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
We
I-
do have some Konami and Kojima news later on, so
well, then again, Ground Zeroes wasn't too bad. It showed up the game nicely, or gameplay nicely.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I
Also,
mean, it was solid for what it was.
no pun intended.
But
Yeah, no,
But
yeah,
it was
no
too-
pun intended, but it was solid for what it was, but it fell flat because of the lack of extra missions that you could have gotten. The excuse me, sorry. It just really had a lack of content, because if it had, like, say 30 missions, even if they were all taking place in the same location, that's at least 30 missions you can go back to and play. It wouldn't be like, oh, here's 7 missions, there's not that much replay value, go nuts
Fuck
with
it.
that. Like,
yeah, just fuck it.
It's like if it had something to offer, then at the very least, the minimal amount you pay for the minimal amount you pay for it would be just fine. Otherwise, if it's just a full game, basically, even if it's not the main game, then nah.
Nah, man, that just sucks dick.
Yep.
Mm.
Liv's getting drunk now. Oh god.
I'm not really drunk right now. I'm in thought.
That's what you call being drunk?
As far as the into the dim game goes, one of the things that I'm noticing about it is, if you look at it, it's got such a simple interface that it could be easily ported over to Steam or
hell,
and-
even on handheld.
yeah,
like
handheld.
3DS / Vita.
I'm wondering if maybe they're starting it out on iOS and they'll just kind of branch out from there.
I mean, yeah, look at Republic.
Yeah, I think if it's popular enough, it should be ported, because we've seen 3DS games on Steam like Azure Striker Gunvolt.
mhm.
So I think it can happen. It's just, they need to get it done.
Yep.
I can't really blame them for starting on the iOS, given that, to be quite honest, a good amount of people use the iPhone a lot more than Android. So financially, from a business perspective, it's a much better move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's like at the very least, if they can earn enough to work their way up from it, then they could really do either like digital or physical copy. So
Mm-hmm.
I would just see digital. Physical, nah. Only if it's on their website.
The art style reminds me like an upscaled Pokemon game, but I kind of like that.
see, I was thinking that
Yeah.
myself. So
Fuck that. No.
Very
I
effective.
have nothing against Pokemon. Truth be told, I have nothing against Pokemon. Hell, recently I bought Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon.
Oh, is that come out now?
Yeah, that's already out.
How is it, by the way?
I hadn't tried it yet. It's probably the same thing as Etrian Dungeon or any Mystery
The
Dungeon.
original.
Yeah, I've only played the one Mystery Dungeon on Game Boy, and it's been such a long time that I don't remember.
It's not that bad though. I think they improved a lot because they added a lot of shit to it.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Now we're off topic. Now we're talking about Pokemon.
That's okay. We get off topic all the time.
Well, then again, I think because James mentioned Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it looked like
It's your fault. It's your fault.
To be fair, the main character does look a lot like Gary Oak.
I'm gonna say that, yeah.
What? Okay,
That's
so I'm the guy that says "smell you later." Okay. So I get to ride on Misty's ass that I was here and Ash is a loser. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Damn.
them
Gary
fighting
Oak
words.
Gary Oak is the best.
He went full savage.
Gary Oak takes no prisoners.
At least Ash has parents.
Oh my god! I can feel the burn.
Hey, you know
You
who
gotta
else
wonder
didn't have-
what.
The poke.
Hey, you
Yeah,
know who
like
else?
dating his
You know who
mom.
else doesn't have parents? Batman.
Oh,
We got some Batman news later on too.
Son of
oh.
a
anyways,
bitch.
Oh man, Dom.
Unless if anybody else has anything to say about Into the Dark or Into the Cave, I forgot.
Oh, into the dim.
Into the
Oh, yeah,
dim.
fuck you.
Into the
Fuck
Dark.
you for that parents comment.
It's a dungeon crawler. What do you expect? But I want to transition over to some more news, and that is SD Gundam G Generation Genesis revealed for PS3, PS4, and PS Vita.
In Japan. Oh. I actually, I'm gonna take this news. I'm gonna post it to one of my good friends that actually likes fucking Gundam.
I've never watched Gundam, so I don't have an opinion on it. I just wanted to
I
share.
didn't mind Gundam. I don't mind Gundam.
But it's only in Japan
Okay.
now. If there's demand, it'll come here. That's how it usually works.
Until it
Yeah,
gets
see-
censored.
Well, see, the big thing about Gundam is that giant fighting robots, some, a rare few that are better than most of the other fighting robots. And then on top of that, like the main ones that people did enjoy watching were the ones where it was usually like battles everywhere, but the whole point was like nobody needs to keep fighting so much, and that was it. SD Gundam, that I didn't really get too much into that. To me, it just
My faves were Gundam Wing because it was on. I think it was on Adult Swim, man. It was on Toonami, so
Yeah.
that's how I kind of saw that. I watched it as a kid, and then my other favorite was G Gundam because I watched it. I liked the idea that the humans were fighting inside the robots with martial arts moves. So I was kind of into that.
As far as the SD Gundam game goes, I saw the original SD Gundam cartoon, which actually it was definitely a kid show, but it was definitely entertaining. On that, they took the route of instead of being pilots inside the robots themselves were sentient, and it was just the robot. If they follow that same route with this, and they could go a more serious route with it, but I kind of hope they throw in maybe a little bit of slapstick. But it could definitely be interesting in that you have the perspective of it just being the robots themselves fighting.
But then again, we have to look at Gundam and say if it wasn't for Gundam, there wouldn't be a lot of mechs, like video games about mechs. There wouldn't be Evangelion. There wouldn't be Code Geass. There wouldn't be a lot of these robot shows.
which
Hell.
actually that actually brings to mind a question that I've been wondering for the longest time. So everybody remembers what was it? Endless Duel. It was basically like
Yes.
what was it? It's basically Street Fighter but with Gundams.
Yeah.
Although it seemed to play a bit better than Street Fighter. Anyway, and it never really saw a localized release. I didn't really understand that.
I think a lot of it had to do with popularity at the time, things like that.
Yeah,
But
I think popularity does get put into consideration.
Yep.
Oh, that sucks.
If you look at it, though, they kind of made up for it when they gave us Battle Assault.
Yeah, they did. They really did.
So I mean, the way the game looks, I wouldn't mind playing it. I wouldn't mind importing it, but I still will have to see more of it before I make that decision. For the sentient Gundams, I didn't even know that. I wonder could they really carry an interesting story considering that they're sentient like that? And with Gundam, it's usually about the pilots and the colony war and all sorts of shit going on, which I think added more flavor to the story than adding any harm. But that's pretty much my opinion on it. I think it looks interesting. It could be interesting, but it depends on how it plays.
Long as they don't do the Michael Bay Transformers thing, it should be fine.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the-
that is.
Explosions featuring Michael Bay.
I heard
Yeah.
that like there were Transformers that were actually races in the Transformer movies.
Yeah,
man.
that was a thing.
Yeah, and then they also like killed off like one of the main important Transformers in the first one. I think it was Ironhide.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
he
third
was
one.
he was fucking important to the entire canon. And he just took it. He's like, I'm gonna wipe my ass with it and throw it back to you and call it Transformers, Michael Bay's version.
Featuring
They say that the
explosions.
only decent one was the first one. The other ones were crap.
Yeah, the first one was the best
Like,
one.
the reason, like, okay, like the first one was decent because of the fact that it was the first Transformers movie. So you know, it did Transformers right for the most part. Now the second one, part of the reason it was crap is because Michael Bay, for some reason, allowed them to do the sub-sophomoric humor thing, where it's like, you know, sex jokes, the sexy girls, and then there was a thing where, then there was the thing
metal
with
balls.
the, yeah. There was the metal balls. There was the thing with the racist Transformers where, like, the reason they were racist is because you had these twin Transformers acting like you know, two Latino dudes that were from the hood, basically.
Oh my
Basically,
god.
So basically, cholos.
Pretty much.
You're in love with the cholo.
God damn it.
Nail on the head with the gameplay kind of being the most important, because that's the thing is you could have a plot that's very good, unlike stuff like the Transformers movie. They could even make them interesting characters, but if the gameplay is horrible or it's just quick time events, no one's gonna like it.
Yeah, like the Voltron video game.
That was a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
recently they made a Voltron video game and it was fucking awful.
And Al formed the head.
I was trying to look for it recently so I could try to play it, but it's taken off the stores.
Oh.
Is that
That's
bad?
how bad it. Didn't they recently take a game out the stores because it was that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that?
I think it was Afro Samurai 2.
Yeah, Afro
Yeah,
Samurai
that's
2
the one.
is terrible.
It was garbage. Jesus Christ, man, that's a big.
Yeah, and they gave back refunds, I think, right?
Yeah, that's pathetic. Oh my
Yep.
god.
No,
I think
I
that-
give them credit for doing that much. If that were EA or Ubisoft, they'd say, fuck you, we got your money.
Or hell, if it was Konami, it would be like, fuck you.
Have some microtransactions.
Yeah, we'll pay you back in
Here,
microtransactions.
get some Gundam points. You'll
Have
need
some
them.
patches that ruins the game.
It had
I
no
think
face
we-
glitch.
I mean, unless anybody wants to cover whatever is left on this particular Gundam game. We can transition
Yeah, just
to
hope-
this topic.
I just hope it doesn't play like the
Wow.
fucking Voltron game.
Don't suck. That's all I gotta say.
I
Don't be
just
like
saw something.
Godzilla. Don't suck.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but I just saw something on Twitter from Prion, and I was just like, wow, I can't even believe that somebody would go that far.
I'm about to
I'll-
find out
I'll-
what this is.
Yeah, I'll leave that for later.
Yeah. Okay, so Shuhei Yoshida says that Dead or Alive Extreme 3 not coming to the West due to cultural differences.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What?
Lying.
I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna say this right now. Tits and ass, they're the same in every language.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And because apparently women in bikinis is triggering to people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mostly to
yeah,
the.
It's all fake outrage. That's how they do shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Women that actually look better than us fat asses are like parading around bikinis.
Maybe you can
Ooh,
talk-
we're so
maybe-
angry.
maybe
We're
if
so angry. Ah!
I do understand that as a professional he can't exactly do this, but instead of just citing cultural differences and leaving it as nothing more than that, it's almost would be better to call these people out and basically make them defend themselves or just call out their point as what it is, which it's bullshit. Because then they would have less power.
It said that every time. Yeah, it said that every time you do call them out, they wind up blocking you on Twitter with that stupid
Let 'em.
bot.
Let them. They get wrecked anyway.
I think what Sony should have done was say that they would have, helped back the localization for it. Kind of like how Marvelous offered to pay $1 million to Koei Tecmo just to localize the game.
You know what would be better overall? Ignore them completely and release the damn game. They don't buy your game.
Yeah, they are just like talking mouthpieces at this point. They do not play games. They don't have any love for games, because if they did have love for video games, they wouldn't be doing something like this to their favorite medium.
Anita.
Yeah.
Anita is not even a thing
Yeah,
anymore.
nah.
She's irrelevant as shit now.
Although she does keep trying.
She keeps trying, but her and her herpes lip are throwing everybody away.
Okay. To be fair, do we know for a fact that she actually has it? If she's not really, I mean, we know Macintosh is behind her. Not behind her,
She's a
but
puppet.
But she's him being behind her.
Nah, it's the other way around. She's
I
behind her.
guess people make the joke because of her public appearance now. She's not looking on the
She's
great
fat.
side. She's a little bit overweight, and her lip it looks deformed. I don't know what that is on her lip, but
Told you, it's herpes.
it's something.
Oh my God, James.
I don't care, fuck her.
James in the slander, though.
I do not care.
Slander
you know,
Hunter James over here.
either way,
SJW Hunter.
But I will say she is a blight to the gaming community. I say that much.
Oh yeah, agreed.
She's more of a blight to social media in general.
Yeah.
Social.
Yep.
Thank God. God bless the U.S. media.
Yeah, Japan doesn't give a crap.
USA.
So yeah, we can transition if no one else has anything to say about this.
Yeah,
I
she
will
was
say that.
totally
I will
sucks.
say this. You can try to censor it. You can try to keep it from coming to the West, but you'll never take my game of boobies.
Right?
Actually, you know what? Before we do transition, I will say that I don't know why, but I can somehow just see like developers starting to put in an English subtitle option for like almost every game now that doesn't get localized.
They should.
Don't know why, but that would somewhat be a good idea for the sense that not every game is going to get localized due to financial issues, but for those games that should get localized and aren't because of people complaining about it for no real reason, you know, that's there.
Yeah, because it affects the whole problem of localization, and if they don't have like those for a particular game, then people will at least hear it. I know that in Japan with certain games, they have full English tracks, like for Resident Evil, for instance. So if they put that option there for other users internationally, then I wouldn't see it be a big issue for other big releases like Yakuza, for instance.
Oh yeah. Anyways, on to the next topic. Gundam Breaker 3 is announced for PS4 and PS Vita, and we were just talking about Gundam earlier, so...
More Gundam
Gundam
games?
is on a comeback.
Yep. More Gundam.
Just looking at that, looking at the Breaker 3, looking at the Gundams, I could tell that a lot of them, it doesn't look like it's the standard weapons that normally are equipped by those particular model of mobile suit. So I'm kind of wondering if this game is going to have a customization element to it.
Be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
Yes and no. If you look at the original series, Amuro's, the RX-78 Gundam had a range of weapons that it could use. Same for the Zaku as well as other models. So it would be unique, I would say, rather than weird. If they went more the old PS2 chibi game where you could switch around parts, like have a Gelgoog head on a G body, that would be weird. But I think if they just do base weapons, that could be good.
Okay, and yeah, base weapons is cool. Because I started thinking about like, what if it was like, you know, you're customizing parts for like something like, you know, my personal favorite Wing Zero. Then what then? Because that would be like, you know, like Wing Zero, not necessarily having a Buster cannon, or even the you know, the Vulcan cannons on the shoulders. It would have seemed a little bit weird because that was Wing Zero. Like even when they did the endless waltz versions of those Gundams, it was like they customized them to a point where it would you knew for sure it was still them. It was more so in wow. It was more so an aesthetic thing.
I
So-
could see them being restrictive as far as certain weapons go, saying, okay, well you have this range of weapons here for this mobile suit, but you can't just take the ball and equip Wing Zero's wings to it and then give it the Buster Cannon.
Yeah, just a little just to continue on Gundam topic for a bit. Do they have any Gundam RPGs out there?
Oh,
Yes, they've got the. It's for PS2. I actually have it right over here next to me.
Of course you do.
MS Saga: A New Dawn.
Okay. I'm thought about what's the next Gundam game? They could make a big RPG out of it.
I wouldn't mind a Gundam RPG, but like I said, it all comes down to how the game plays, how it feels. You know, if it's good, if it has a lot of elements that RPGs have, like leveling up, like acquiring certain things for your character, getting certain weapons, how it plays. I would not mind at all. It just all depends, really. So I haven't played a lot of Gundam games in the past, but like I said, I would not mind if there's a good one out there. Especially one if I can emulate, because I do have a gaming PC and I can emulate pretty much anything.
Yo, 3K Lemon.
3K
Well,
limit.
emulators for the win, bitch.
Yeah.
I like also when the Gundams were boosting forward in the trailer, they had that kind of 2D smoke trail in the back.
2D for the win.
I mean, fire does burn, so
Yeah.
wow.
Anyway, I'm just gonna pull up the next article we have.
Go ahead.
Let's see. So then we got
Something about the Wii U version.
Wii U version of Pokken Tournament is revealed. It's got a trailer. It's basically just an introduction trailer that Nintendo does for like almost every one of their games.
Wait, Wii U version. This was in the arcades, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
So it's there. I'm interested to see it personally, just because I'm somewhat interested in Pokemon, and
That was my fault.
I just think that as a fighting game, it would be really interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be.
Lots of amiibo options.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Probably mostly for Pokemon games. Or Pokemon ones like Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Greninja, all that shit.
Do they have a restrictive roster at this point with it, or as far as in different Pokemon available?
I don't know the current roster. I know a few monsters that are in the game,
I know Blaziken's in there. That's all I needed.
Dark Mewtwo is a thing, and you can unlock him right away if you pre-order the game.
Is Dark Mewtwo supposed to be like a stronger version of Mewtwo?
Maybe he's Kazuya.
It's basically Mewtwo Mega Evolution X, I think. So it's more or less the same thing.
So kind of like Shadow Lugia.
Yeah, more or less.
I do not know that much about Pokemon, so I do not follow you nerds.
What a bunch of weeaboos.
Don't call me a weeaboo, you weeaboo.
I'm just a guy who likes nerd stuff. That's all.
I mean, I stopped watching Pokemon like a long time ago. I don't know.
Either. I just played the game.
I'm one of those
I did
assholes. Yeah, I'm one of those assholes who converted to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Hey,
I like
Charmander is
both
my
now.
starter. You don't know nothing.
I went for both, and I don't even watch the show. I just play the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The show sucks now, honestly.
It does. I'm sorry. The original Yu-Gi-Oh was much
My
better
life
than
is
this crap.
forever. Well, fuck this show then. No progress ever gonna be made.
Card games on motorcycles.
Oh god.
The
they have
gimmicks are real
Yu-Gi-Oh
from
kind of-
Konami. I remember when Yu-Gi-Oh was hype.
The original Yu-Gi-Oh is still the best Yu-Gi-Oh. Enough said.
Yep, I agree. If fans are butts about it.
Okay, let's see what do we have next. Oh yeah, Kojima and the whole you know him.
Black and Bull.
leaving.
Here we go with Konami and their boy.
Okay,
See,
I
it
will
used to be-
say this.
See, it
I
used to
will-
be just EA. I'm sorry. It used to be just
yeah.
EA.
Now it's Konami.
Now it's Konami. And
Well, it used to
they're
be
bull.
Capcom too.
Yeah,
Capcom's way
Capcom
better
used to
than
mess
that.
up a lot, but they sort of slowed down, so I can give them some credit on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least Capcom shows some slight improvements, I guess you can say, that could be seen. But with Konami, it's like worse. As far as like Kojima's new studio, or technically revival of an old studio,
Yep.
and the new logo. At first, I thought they were going to bring back PT or whatever, but just call it something else. They confirmed they weren't working on a successor to that. And then I'm starting to look at the logo, and I'm thinking, why do I get the feeling this is going to be a new Zone of the Enders, just not called Zone of the Enders?
Yeah, because
Oh,
Zone of the
man.
Enders 3, it had concept arts of like skeletons and some concept arts of like skeletons and death and all that stuff. That's how the Jehudi frame looked. So if it is a Zone of the Enders successor, then I'm all for it because I played Zone of the Enders second runner. That game is it's amazing. It's very good.
It was amazing. Sad thing is, like, I haven't played in it so long because it's like, for one thing, I have nobody I can play locally, and number two, you know, I kind of gave up on the story a little bit. I kept meaning to go back into it, but I just never did. But I'm gonna do it one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
Before I die, I will do it.
Yeah, I think it would be a nice transition over from Metal Gear to a Zone of the Enders successor. I think that they also should put the multiplayer in because how cool would it be to have a system like that and to be able to fight friends again online or something?
Oh yeah, that was probably one of my issues with Metal Gear Solid 5 was that it just did not have co-op. And I think that like with a Kojima game, if it were to have co-op, if it's a more say like stealth-based game or a more action-based game like Zone of the Enders, for example, it'd be even better with co-op.
I think that no matter what they make, one of the aspects of Zone of the Enders 2 that I thought was the best was the main villain, Noman. Just the fact that he was so obsessed and power hungry, and you knew you could tell he was a genuine threat, and you wanted to stop him. If they can kind of give you that kind of feeling about this new villain, I think that'll be really good.
And that's if they don't. That's if they don't give the villain a backstory where it's like you kind of feel bad for him, and then you feel bad for killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I get it. A tragic backstory can make for a good bad guy, but when you
It's
make it,
overdone now.
yeah,
The thing is, with Noman, unless you watched the Zone of the Enders anime, you wouldn't know that he probably was warped a lot by Metatron corruption. The Metatron just affecting him psychologically.
now see
But
that part I didn't know. I didn't know that until I had to do some sort of research.
right. But he came across as, okay, this guy's crazy. We gotta kill him.
That old jackass. Anyway,
Anyway, I guess we can transition. The other link that I left was just the video of Kojima and PlayStation announcing their new partnership. Yes,
That was
the new game that Kojima is working on is going to be PlayStation exclusive. For those of you that were wondering, so just
not surprising.
Come on, PC.
That's surprising.
Yeah,
I
come
knew
on PC too.
Yes.
is it coming to PC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I knew that Kojima was going to go to Sony. I predicted it weeks ago that he's going to work with Sony.
It
Yeah.
seemed like it was going to make sense. I mean, he's been working on games for that particular platform for decades now, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I can imagine the email to him now. Hey guys, how'd you like to make some money?
So
Like it?
Hey, how would you like to move units on that console? I'll make you good games. Anyway, on to the next topic. Keiji Inafune talks Mighty Number 9 development, Mega Man differences, and sequel. Inafune.
He's done. He's done.
I don't care.
He's a businessman.
I mean, my number 9 has how many delays has had how many delays by now, and then
at this point.
And then and then let's not forget they tried to put up concepts of a spin-off of a game that wasn't even finished,
and an anime and a live action movie.
It's like why are you trying? It's like why are you trying to do all this so fast? Like the game. It's like we get it. There are people who want to buy and play the game, and they've been anxiously waiting. But it's like, at some point, you just can't. You can't just expect to just keep hitting up people with this kind of stuff, expecting to get their money. It's like focus on one thing at a time, then you can start thinking about stuff. And that's if the product turns out to be good.
Somebody was asking me a question in the chat. I can see your comment, but it says it's disabled for me, so I don't know why that is. So
are you talking about Undead?
Yeah, I can
message me about that.
Yeah, I can see your comment on my notifications. I just can't see it in the actual chat. I actually have a video link now, so that explains where my stream went. Because I was like worried for a second it wasn't going directly to my YouTube channel. But anyway, yeah, we've got a little bit more Inafune news later on, but I want to go back to DOA X3 now and talk about the latest trailer and screenshots. I think, Brandon, you were sharing this.
Yeah, I posted that. So, how many of you beautiful young men are going to buy DOA X3?
Well,
maybe. I kind of want Senran Kagura more.
Yeah, Senran Kagura seems to be more so something I would be interested in. I mean, volleyball was like a lot of sports games were never really my thing, so there's that. So I mean, it might be.
I wanted to get it, but since this localization thing's happening, like, God, I hate SJWs with a passion now. They keep ruining our stuff.
Yep.
I want the boobies. Give me the boobies.
That's something for
you. Need the boobies? Okay.
Oh, but seriously though, this is stupid though. Not Konami, darn it. Koei Tecmo's excuse. Koei Tecmo's excuse is freaking ridiculous. They get offended by the SJWs. Kiss my ass.
I had one screenshot and I used it for my video when I was talking about this, like when it was first like big news. Apparently they had like one employee in particular that was an SJW on the localization team, but I have yet to see anyone confirm or deny that. So I don't know if it's true or not.
Okay.
If it is true, then that dude is exposed.
Yeah, this actually brings up the question that because this is still a big if that was the case, then why is it that this one Okay, first I gotta ask, was this a man or woman?
Yeah,
I said it's a girl.
Okay, then my point still stands. Why is it that they're doing this for one particular person?
No, more like, why are you shaming attractive women?
That too.
Why is this now? Why are people demonizing good-looking women?
Because
I was just saying to somebody earlier how, at first, it was you're hurting the women's. Now it's like women that are busty can't be a thing. Like it's the same thing with the whole thing about Hollywood. It's like. First, nobody liked slim or particularly skinny women, and now it's like, you're seeing more people get into the Hollywood scene now, and it's like, okay, so like Amy Schumer, the comedian now actress, she did that naked photo shoot, and people were like, she did the photo shoot to show that she can be this successful entertainer, despite the fact that people are calling her fat. But it's like, maybe just maybe it's not like she does. First of all, she doesn't look fat to me, but it might not even be that. It might even be her size or anything. It might just be that to some people she's just not all that.
Entertainer, comedian.
Like some of her jokes, they can be funny, but then it's like you just gotta wonder about whether or not you're laughing at the joke or you're laughing because you're listening to the joke, hoping for the big punchline, and then you realize the punchline passed, and you're just like, oh, that was
comedian mechanics.
That's
yeah. So
I'm
so
sorry. I was just looking at the comments for this particular podcast because apparently you can go onto YouTube Gaming and comment.
I wonder why they disable it now.
Yeah, that's
trying to
weird.
promote YouTube gaming.
YouTube gaming.
But yeah,
Dang it, I forgot it existed.
back on topic. I mean, like I think it's kind of pathetic. All it is just mini games, and they're overreacting. I mean, I think James was saying this too. Like their plan kind of backfired if they were trying to ban the game because now it's potentially
You made
gonna
it
get more
way more
sales.
popular with your whole demonizing Urti. You royally fucked it all up for yourself. Good job.
Yeah, like
they may end up localizing it because now it's so popular.
But you know what? Good. Demonize more things so they get popular. Do me a favor.
I
should go
they
send
did
them
that
a
with
bucket
the actual Devil May Cry.
I should go send them
But
a
at the
bucket
same
list
time, if
game.
it meant more sales for Devil May Cry, I'd be happy. Oh, hey, Koss.
Hey guys.
Hey, Cosmo.
There you go, Cos. Told you we were
Koss
doing
and Pac were
podcasts.
live, right?
I didn't know you guys were podcasting. It's a
but yeah.
party today.
Yep, it's a giant party. Too bad.
This party's getting crazy.
See, me being the token black guy, I almost brought up a rap song that I don't think any of you should have your brains poisoned just me bringing it up.
Is it from
The
Lil
song,
Wayne?
No.
the song is "Why the fuck you lying?"
I wish it was that song.
Stop fucking lying.
Has that dude got his platinum album yet?
Yeah, no,
No.
I think he got triple platinum.
It ain't going platinum, it's going double uranium, son.
No, uranium.
Uranium? I thought it was titanium, motherfucker.
Adamantium.
Oh, man.
Plutonium. Plutonium, bitch.
I missed that show.
Yeah.
Somebody brought in a Nikkei article, but it's all in Japanese, so I don't
Google translate that.
about. Oh, it's Kojima's reason for leaving or whatever. Okay. I mean, if you guys want to talk about that, we can.
Yeah.
So he basically calls them out, just to sum it up. Basically saying, yeah, you know, I can do whatever I want now. I can actually take risks like a good business person, and what a good company would do, unlike some other people, Konami. And just yeah. That's just basically how you can sum up that entire statement.
Mm-hmm.
Rip Konami. You were once good.
I'm not sure what to say. I mean, they've already
you,
done
Konami.
they've done so much shit. I don't even think that they brought back Silent Hills at this point, especially since Kojima's gone. Nothing's gonna save them at this point. They're dead.
Yeah, I think people are looking at Kojima Productions and people like Igarashi as far as like what Konami used to be. You know, like, oh, we don't have Castlevania anymore, but we have Bloodstained. That's the new Castlevania. Go to Igarashi for that. Hideo Kojima's working on a new game. It's probably not Metal Gear.
It's probably gonna be like
going to be in Zone of the Enders, so look
Yeah,
out
that's
for
what-
that. You know.
I
You
can
know-
see that.
You know, it's a funny thing, really. Is it was like, okay, I gotta ask, because I actually did like the reboot to Igarashi's games, but did Igarashi even have a problem that Lords of Shadow was being rebooted, or did he leave? Or did he leave before that even happened?
Didn't he leave during Lords of Shadow too?
I
think
think
so.
he left during Lords of Shadows 2, and there was a reason why he left. It was because they were making him make mobile games. Like
yeah, that would make me leave. That's for damn.
yeah,
yeah,
he did not get the chance to actually work on games, and somebody at Konami, like, literally told him, and he brought this up during his Kickstarter video for Bloodstained. Somebody literally sat in front of him and told him, yeah, no one's gonna want a classic style Castlevania game. Nobody wants that.
Receipts
And
to
Funny
break
thing is-
records on Kickstarter. What
You're
was
right.
that, bitch?
Okay. I'm gonna say one thing to that. Here's the thing for me, because I actually, like, even though I didn't play all the Castlevania games, the ones I do have, whether it was you know, Lament of Innocence or Curse of Darkness, which I thought they were good. Symphony of the Night, you know, I always wanted to get it, wanted to play it.
Godlike.
Yeah. And the thing of it is, to me, the old, like, the 2D Castlevania games, they were good. And the only thing that to me, I think it eventually got tired is just some of the gimmicks that they kept adding to each new game. That's the only thing for me.
Right.
I mean, it's like I get it. Japanese culture. That's Japanese culture. There's a method to the goodness behind it, but to me, it was just, you know, a change seemed like it was a good idea. And for the most part, Lords of Shadow, they at least made some nods to the old games, and they did some justice to it while still making it its own thing. So, you know, there's that. I mean, y'all can grill me about it later, but that's just what I think.
I think the combat needed to work was the only complaint I had.
And
Which one was it?
Both, especially the first game. Jesus Christ, that game needed it. The problem is it was too much like Lords of Shadow, like the combat.
Okay.
I felt
Like
like,
it-
it was trying too much to be like God of War, and it wasn't trying to go for its own thing.
At least
enough.
it's mimicking a good game, though. I'll
It's
give 'em
not a
that,
bad
but-
game. No, actually, no. My biggest issue with the first Lords of Shadow was way too many puzzles. It got really annoying after a while, spamming puzzles at me.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
like I'm not gonna lie, the puzzle things, I sort of thought it was a little weird too. Like, I didn't take too much issue with it, but it definitely made me wonder a bit, because I know, at least with Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness, you didn't really, the most you had was just find some key to some door and unlock it. That was about it. Other than that, the puzzles wasn't really sure what that was.
I heard Curse of Darkness was actually pretty good.
Curse of Darkness definitely was a good game, and it was the kind of game where it departed from the Castlevania tradition in a good way, because it lets you try out new things in terms of, like, combat, and the fact that there's a lot more action in terms of gameplay going on. Now, if somebody thought it was bad in the sense of the gameplay wasn't, in a sense they felt the gameplay wasn't good, more than likely they probably just sucked at it. Because
Shots fired.
like my thing was that something like Curse of Darkness, even if you did lose, you at least had some challenging boss fights to it. And it's like, even when I would get my butt kicked when I had it, I still had fun playing it. I granted I never beat it because Dracula's final form would just kill me, but I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, even when you made the Lords of Shadow games, like, I remember Mirror of Fate was being released, and that one guy at IGN. Now he gave it a low score, but then a large part of his score was the way the game looked. But the game came out on the 3DS. It's like it's a lower,
Wow.
yeah. It was like it's a lower graphic engine. What were you expecting?
Yeah, you said it was from IGN, correct?
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
surprising.
so yeah, not surprising. Too much.
And then on top of that, if you look at the way he plays, like I get it, it's a demo, you're trying to give a demonstration, but at least give your best in the demo because at least then people could see more objectivity in it. But that's not what that one guy did.
Mm-hmm.
And because like to me, I can play all three Lords of Shadow games. I haven't played them in a while, but I can play them. I can still enjoy them. And at the very least, even if the story is always the same, combat doesn't necessarily mean it's always the same. Because the enemies are at least fairly smart.
Fairly.
Not barely, fairly. Sorry, I had to do that. But
unless if anyone else has anything else to say about that particular topic before we transition.
What's up about again?
We were
it
talking
was
about
Konami.
Kojima and just Konami employees outside of Konami.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I hope the Konami employees work with Kojima. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah,
I think they have been.
I will say the people that are there's a couple of people over there from Kojima Productions. Like I know Yoji Shinkawa, the guy who did the art for Metal Gear. He definitely jumped ship. There's also a producer over there as well. So I'm hoping more members jump on board because again, if Konami is really treating their employees like crap, then they don't deserve to be over there. That's just straight up abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody likes abuse.
Right.
Yep.
Unless you're in the BDSM, then that's another thing. I'm sorry, it had to be said.
Okay, I think we should go to something a little bit more lighthearted, which is Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 and 3 get a trailer for Jump Festa 2016. So
I forgot Jump Festa happened recently. So
I didn't watch the trailer, so I don't have an opinion on it. But
I wish Anthony was here because he was ranting about that.
yeah, and unfortunately
Now-
Anthony can't join us tonight. He had to go do something which was more of a
From
personal
what
thing.
he told
So
us, the trailer showed nothing new whatsoever.
I think it's-
really?
like there is supposed to be something new because there's supposed to be some sort of continuation to the Birth by Sleep story, but or at least from the perspective of those characters, but there was nothing that really.
Let's play Street Fighter. Sorry to interrupt.
Looking at the.
I'm actually about to quit it. Don't judge me.
Oh, that's you.
Don't judge me.
Looking at the graphics on it from the trailer as well as the music, I think it could be good. I am kind of glad that they are remaking some of these games onto the console that were on the handheld, things like that. I would also argue it's maybe better that they're not showing that much in terms of new things.
I probably would argue against it, considering that this game has been development hell for a while. Unless you gotta show something new that keep people excited. I mean, look, we got Final Fantasy VII gameplay in the same year that it was announced.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think during the last the last minute or so of the trailer, I think they do show what looks like new footage, unless I'm mistaken.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I cannot get my full opinion on it.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna look at it now, if I can find it.
I hope this doesn't happen to anyone who's a Kingdom Hearts fan, but I was making the joke about and before Kingdom Hearts 13 becomes the new Final Fantasy Versus 13.
You said Kingdom Hearts 13.
Did I say Kingdom Hearts 13? I meant to say Final Fantasy 13.
Final
Fantasy Versus 13 or 13 versus whatever it was called.
Now they're calling it 15.
Yeah, and before that happens, I wouldn't want that to happen to Final Fantasy fans. I hope that they can get the game that they want as soon as possible. But you know, given that this is Square Enix, it might happen.
You know, the funny thing is, the fact that they've been working on this for so long, so much so that first it was like, oh, it's gonna be PS3 exclusive. It's like, oh, now it's gonna be next gen. Now it's gonna be next gen. And then next thing it was, oh, we're gonna change to 15. And now it's like just crickets chirping in the background since then.
Yep. Man, I wish we were on Skype right now. I'm playing the sound effects.
Yeah.
That'd be so appropriate right now.
Yeah.
It seems that it's one of those cases where I'm not very quick to judge it as being necessarily a bad sign that there's not a lot being said. It might be a scenario where things are going well, and they're just kind of trying to keep it down so that the hype doesn't make the expectations for the game too high. But I also leave it open that it could be a scenario of maybe things aren't going as well as they want, and they're trying to kind of not have much news out there so it doesn't attract a lot of attention.
I wouldn't be surprised. They have 3 big projects going on. 7 Remake, 15, and this.
Yep.
Sad thing is the only projects that they'll have going on for the next few years, give the money that they generate. Which,
okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be such a bad thing, except that those are all that they just focus on. And fans have been asking for other stuff ever since.
Yeah. You know, like I made a joke earlier saying that in 2017, if all three games release at least part 1 of freaking Final Fantasy VII Remake, they're gonna make a lot of money that year.
They really will.
Yeah, they're doing a lot for 2017, and what they really need to do is, I say that they need to get the development down for these games so far. They have to really make sure that each one of them is really great, because a lot of people are expecting Kingdom Hearts 3, and a lot of people are expecting Final Fantasy 7 to live up to the hype of their expectations, so they don't want to set the bar too low at all. So I think that if that date is like comfortable for them, then they should just go all out and do what they have to do. But at the same time, it does make me worry considering how many projects they have on their workload. So we'll just wait and see what happens.
I think the thing that I can compare it to is that you remember when Capcom released 3 Resident Evil games in 1 year?
1 year? Yeah, I remember.
Wait, what games were those?
Revelations 1 on 3DS, Operation Raccoon City on PS3, Xbox 360. I think it might have gotten a PC release, and then Resident Evil 6 on PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. Now, the issue is not releasing 3 games in 1 year, even if they are from the same series. The issue is how much quality and how far apart they're being released, because you can tell that both Resident Evil 6 and Operation Raccoon City were rushed jobs.
They were literally the same game when you think about it.
Pretty close to it, yeah. I would argue that Resident Evil 6 as a game, personally, I think it's a better game than Operation Raccoon City just because it functioned. It is a better game. It is the better game comparatively.
It functions. The bunch Revelations, which is my personal favorite.
It actually has, some replay, a little bit of replay value, unlike Operation Raccoon City, and no overpriced DLC.
Isn't it quite hilarious that out of those 3, the most memorable game will be Resident Evil Revelations, the small projects that they did on the 3DS?
Yeah, which ended up getting an HD port
and a sequel
sold well, and a sequel that also sold well. Although I personally think the sequel was a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, it is.
A good game,
person who loves the first one. Person who loves the first game, though, it was seriously underwhelming in a lot of departments.
Though
customization was garbage.
Though I will say that I think the good thing about it is that they were at least using characters they hadn't used in a really long time, and Barry was finally playable in a game that wasn't garbage.
Yeah. Yes, but does he get his Jill sandwich?
No.
Okay, can somebody answer something for me? Where was Jill? Where was Jill after Resident Evil 5? That's what I want to know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone wants to know that.
All right, she's still getting medical treatment
Wow.
for the Wesker virus that was in her blood or whatever they put inside of her. She's still getting treatment. They have files in Revelations 2 saying that she's trying to recuperate, and they still have to do tests and documents on her before they can release her.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Okay,
fucking
now we
jumps
know.
from skyscrapers now. Like, sure.
Well, she could, but she doesn't have that stuff pumping through her anymore. That stuff was practically cocaine pumping through her veins. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Chris up. She was messing Chris up so bad. I felt sorry for him getting kicked in the face like that in slow motion.
And the dude was on steroids, for that matter.
Yeah.
He's punching boulders, man. He works out quite well.
And you get your butt kicked by your skinny, slim partner? Come on.
I was making this joke saying, like, you know, the BSSA must be going on some serious training program. You got Barry and Revelations to pushing helicopters. I'm not kidding. Yes, you did. Yeah. You got Chris punching boulders. You got Jill kicking people across the room. Sign me up on your training program.
The only thing they won't do is make another Wesker. That's it. If you got another Wesker, it's that.
Revelations 2 says hello, and it did a poor job at that new Wesker.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint you there, but it kind of already happened.
You know what? That's a discussion I guess we could have some other time. You know, because that's something that really bothered me. I really did not like the way they went with the whole Alex Wesker thing. But, you know, that's already off topic on itself, because we were talking about Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, and what if they released all three of those around the same time, kind of like...
that would just make them a shit ton of money.
Yeah, a ton of money that they, on the one hand, would have already had in the first place, but they keep blowing it for the same series every time.
I think one of the advantages that they have is that if they get Final Fantasy 15 done, if they get that done, then they have the basic, more or less, I would say they have the basic framework for the engine for Final Fantasy 7, which means they can kind of put that in the background while they finish up Kingdom Hearts. So if they kind of do it in that order, it might be a bit more advantageous, especially since Final Fantasy 7 is going to be 3 parts anyway.
Yeah, but it seems like that their development process for Final Fantasy 7 has been accelerated in a degree, because they say with the Unreal 4 engine is making things work a lot better, a lot faster. Apparently they already have Part 1 done.
The Unreal 4
it's done already. It is done.
No, they talk about the dialogue.
Well, Final Fantasy 7 is running on the Unreal 4 engine.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I had the feeling that if any of the 3 games are going to be released first, it's going to be Final Fantasy 15, and maybe 15 is going to have a demo of 7, kind of like how Type 0 HD had a demo of 15.
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows at this point.
I just hope it's not one of those situations where they have all these games prepped and ready, and then they make the stupid decision to say, we're going to release them all on the same day.
Same day? What?
In the same day or the same weeks? That'd be crazy. Spending $106 on these games.
Mm-hmm.
My wallet.
Or guess what?
What was it, Leslie?
I said, or guess what? They delay it again.
Dun.
I think that would be the most delayed game right next to
More delayed.
Number 9.
Nukem.
No.
Half-Life 3. 9.
Half-Life 3 is the most delayed game ever.
Half-Life 3, that is vaporware at this point.
Oh, jeez.
It's probably malware at this point.
Anyway, I think we should stop talking about Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy and move on to Batman.
Batman what?
Batman Arkham Knight?
Yeah, Arkham Knight, and Warner Brothers just giving up all hope for PC.
Good! Consoles were good.
And we know exactly why they're giving up, because they screwed up.
Console master race, Capel.
They fucked up.
You don't fucked it up.
Wow.
Okay, this is the thing that nobody can really understand, because it'll never make sense. So you have a game, and it's gonna be good, provide long as all the bugs and stuff are worked out and whatever, right? Now, why is it that when you make a game for consoles by the same team, that instead of letting that same team handle the PC port, you give it to another team?
Yeah, with 10 people. 10 people.
Yeah.
From a team that makes mostly fighting games, from what I can tell, or port fighting games. Like they're working on Killer Instinct Season 2 and 3. They worked on Street Fighter and Darkstalkers and whatnot. So why give it to them?
They worked on Darkstalkers to person? How do you feel about that?
I don't want to talk about it. It was a dark time in my life.
Are you getting Vietnam flashbacks?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Full Metal Jacket.
No! He's like, no! Don't shove the lightning rods up there, no!
No! Oh my god.
No,
I will say this. I think it would be better for companies to focus on the PC version first before focusing on the console version.
Wow.
Because if you can get the PC version down, then it should be, a clear sign that you can get the console version down.
Yeah.
So this guy's gonna cheese out his win and then fatality me. Nice job.
Right.
I realized I've been muted this entire time. I'm stupid.
You said wrecked at the right time, Brandon.
That's what. I was already muted, so yeah.
You said wrecked at the right time.
I was gonna say they should follow Capcom's example with reverse engineering, like they did for DMC4. That's why it runs so well on console and PC.
DMC4 sucks. No.
Why doing the wrong
framework needs to be in every game from now on.
Special edition's better.
Tearaway Unfolded was a better remaster than DMC4. No.
Her story is a better game.
You're gonna be on a stake at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, just end the podcast with me saying that DMC4 sucks. Ends podcast.
You know what would have made it better? Matter of fact, somebody made it better when they said her story is a better game. It was like rigged.
Yeah, rigged.
You mean
I remember the voice of gamers rigged.
Yeah,
that's SJW.
Oh, it had the best narrative. Rigged.
What narrative?
Voice acting of Witcher 3.
What?
The developer is like, what the fuck is this?
It's like, what even?
Like, everybody remembers that dude's face when he saw what happened.
Because he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you saw that face.
He's like, I don't remember hiring her.
He was like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, what is this? What even?
I remember. Okay, I was watching Preon stream when the VGAs happened because he was streaming it from his stream. And I remember when after I heard her story so much, and so finally I looked up the game. I read the story. I was like, this is an episode of Law and Order. which don't get me wrong, Law and Order is a show that is good. Although I have some, we all have our misgivings about that one episode. Moving past that,
He leveled up.
You know what? I opened that can of worms. I'm sorry. But it was an episode of Law and Order. You would have thought maybe this would have been like Sherlock Holmes or something, but no, it's just a Law and Order episode.
Dun dun.
Like it wasn't even anything like that show Bones where they do the forensics investigation with the fancy technology. It wasn't even. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bones sucks.
How dare you?
Hey, I would rather watch CSI Miami than Bones.
Bones is great.
Shots fired, motherfuckers!
Oh, that was for real, though. Hold that L-proof vest.
Disguise, motherfucker!
Hold that L-proof vest.
You
God damn it, Levy.
First prize, motherfucker.
James dies, motherfucker.
You wish.
What were we talking about? I forget
Dante
what we were
dies,
talking about. I think we were talking about Batman.
That day will never happen.
Man.
No. I will say that PC dies, motherfucker.
Hey, PC can handle some good games. It just can't handle Batman. Piece of crap.
Only for Arkham Knight. Hey, then again,
there's a lot of Forza fucking up.
It's most likely every game that I've seen from Warner Brothers. It's shitty on PC.
You should have just said what your original answer was with Ubisoft.
Remember MKX on PC?
Hey, Ubisoft sometimes sucks too, but then again,
to be fair,
they can't make a good game on PC to save their life.
NetherRealm can't make PC work shit.
Except for Child of Light, that's the only one that works.
It's a very bad sign when the main focus of an article is, "Hey guys, we got rain effects."
Look at the
The game is coming along nicely.
Behold the fish AI.
Oh yeah, there's dogs in the game.
This is the rain effect.
Look at the detail of this man's arm
Look
hair.
at my sports, man. Look at these sports.
I can't believe they said, "Look at this man's arm hair." Are you fucking serious?
Oh my god, why?
No. It was Call of Duty Ghosts, and they were like, look at the level of detail, and they zoom in on his arm hair. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about his arm.
Right, the next thing you know, his pubes are gonna be detailed. What the fuck?
Hey James, man, you see the beetle sweat going down his butt crack, man. That's a detail.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ. I didn't need that image today. I didn't need it ever.
Oh, I'll give it to you later.
No, I don't want that. No.
I think now's a great time that we just transition to what Shuhei Yoshida said about the PS4.
Please do.
I think we already did.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, let's get ready for the
PS4 has too many games.
Rigged.
That's not about a matter of being rigged. That's a matter of you're fucking lying. It needs more games, honestly.
It needs more games. What? How do you expect to sell your console if you don't have any games?
They can't.
They show he gives off a list of games that are coming, and yeah, sure that doubles the library, but only half of the 20 games that are listed are games that you can play without VR.
Look at the PS2, for instance. Great library of games. It had a nice longevity to it. It had it still has plenty of things you can go back and play. That's the kind of thing I want to remember when I put down the controller for my console. I want to remember all the good stuff that I had experience with, that I had a good time with. I am not going to remember a statement saying, "Oh, we don't have enough games, therefore our console is just a paperweight."
Now, I remember the Wii U as paperweight. I remember Xbox One as a break from my house.
I would consider this generation as the paperweight generation. Lack of games, but so much, over.
No, that's the
too much VR nonsense now. Jesus Christ!
I got my PS3 sitting on my PS4. You want to talk about paperweight?
I don't know. The Xbox One seems like the biggest paperweight right now.
It's a brick for my house, man. I could literally make a house out of Xbox Ones.
And the sad thing is, like this is something that's been said by normal people. The Xbox One as a console does just fine. Part of the big problem was the issues with online. And then
the lack of power compared to the PS4 as well.
That's why so many people converted to the PS4.
Yeah, I was converted too.
Yeah, like I'll still keep mine, but it's like PS4 unfortunately beat them out. But PS4 has actually beaten them out to a point that nobody's really trying to put a lot of games on Xbox One, which is sad. Because it's like. Because the Xbox One so far has maybe 2 fighting games at most.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about exclusives only?
Like not even just exclusives. Really.
One of them is Killer Instinct.
Yeah, Killer Instinct.
And the other one is Blaze Blue.
Another one. Well, if you're talking about, there's a lot of games that they've made for Xbox One. Yeah, one of them was going to be Dead Rising 3, but no, PC.
Yep. PC Master-ish.
It was going to be Rise of the Tomb Raider, only for Microsoft consoles, but nope, PS4 and PS3.
Yep. They get a.
Right now,
the only ones that they got is Sunset Overdrive, State of Decay for Xbone, Rare Replay, Halo 5, and that's it. Halo 5.
I know. Halo what?
Halo
isn't there?
Halo 69.
Yeah. What else was there?
Shit, cock ring.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else really, because the Xbox's library is just so small. Like I think it's arguably smaller than the Wii U's library.
It is smaller than Wii U's.
It is.
Which
It
is
really
why
is.
If you count Rare Replay, all 30 games, if you count that, then okay, you may have something on your hands.
Perhaps.
That's a big maybe, though.
Yeah, a big maybe, if you count that 30 plus games or whatever.
I do want to bring up the games that Shuhei Yoshida did bring up for the PS4. Like he brought up like PS4 games that don't require, you know, PlayStation VR, and then he has like the PlayStation VR titles. I'm not personally hyped for VR because, for one, there's nothing really that says like, oh, I have to play that with VR. I have to get that, you know.
Oh,
like,
Dom, just wait for the Schoolgirl Simulator. You'll get that.
Oh man.
But like, no, but really though, it's like there's nothing there. Like, how come we don't have something like? And I know it's Konami, so it's not going to happen. But how come we don't have something like Zone of the Enders or what is it, Gundam on PlayStation
Or
VR? Like, that would be something to jump
possible.
on, you know. Like,
You know,
go on.
there was, oh well,
Go
there
ahead.
was something that came to mind. There was something that came to mind recently that actually made me think about the way things were going with gaming. Okay, so it used to be with most games, you know, even if you were something of a noob with it, if you had some skill, then you'd at least do something. You didn't have to be the best, but if you had some skill, you practice, you get somewhere as far as the game goes, right? This could have been racing, this could have been fighting, it could have been something or other. But you know, then came the point where you have games like, you know, Halo and Call of Duty, which, with it being Halo, Halo was the game that actually set the standard for a lot of others. But then it was like you started having games trying to outdo that standard, and what we wound up getting is the games that do the same thing over and over and over again. And now it's like, you know, if you got casual gamers, that's all well and good. But the thing of it is that, you know, it's brought a lot of things that, as far as the gaming industry and the community, it's more so that, you know, instead of people actually trying to practice like you could do with anything, and I literally mean anything, now it's just, oh, this game's too easy. I want something that'll appeal to my level of casualness. And it's like, you know, if you want casual, that's fine. But if you're playing something that you have people that are more than casual, you can't really be surprised when you get wrecked.
Yeah.
Because like even now, okay, so I could go online and play MKX. I play against somebody like Preon, I'm gonna get wrecked because he's a better player than I am. I can accept this. I would like to think that maybe, just maybe, I might be able to do something against him with some amount of skill, but it's kind of hard to tell because, you know, even with my good internet, unfortunately, netcode is bad for a lot of fighting games. The point is, I'm actually okay with where I am, and I can at least get better if I want it.
What the fuck was that?
What's up, man?
But I heard you humming. But yeah, I think that there is a certain amount of challenge and adversity in video games that people just don't want to take because they realize they just aren't that good to overcome the obstacle. Like when I go into a fighting game, I go into it having a good time. Sometimes I practice, sometimes I don't. So my level of skill against other players, of course, when it comes to good players, I'm going to get bodied. But at the same time, there's a level of control because I know that it's just a video game. It's not anything to get mad over. It's entertainment. And I think that if you get mad at entertainment, then there's something wrong with that hobby. If there's something that you're just not enjoying, you're trying to take it way too competitive for words, and it's just not working out for you properly.
Points to Black Ops 3 and rage quitting.
I do get mad at Black Ops, I will admit. But sometimes I can say there's bullcrap in certain games that will cause me to freak out.
Mm.
Hey, remember when gamers actually used skill? No,
you know what caused me to freak out the most? Right to Hell.
Yeah, if it's a bad game, oh no, that. If the game is bad, then yeah, I can understand. You telling yourself like, why am I playing this?
No, the game wasn't all overall quote unquote bad. But it was the sexy. No, it was the dry humping closed sex which made it worse.
Oh,
and weird. Don't forget weird.
Weird and was I supposed to be aroused by that? I mean, most people got more aroused with the Witcher games than that.
Oh, yeah, you can have sex on a unicorn. Having sex there, you know.
Sex on a unicorn.
Yeah.
I've always been playing like harder games, so like I have to play something that's hard. If like the game's too easy for me, then I don't enjoy it as much because it's not like you're working hard to earn anything. It just feels like you're breezing through everything, and that's not really fun. I think.
No, it's not.
Like, and I don't know about any of you here, but like, I don't think a game is fun if you have to breeze through, if you can breeze through everything. And that's not to say that there shouldn't be times where maybe you can breeze through things just because you've taken the time to learn how the game works and actually.
It should not be on maybe difficulty.
But
it should be on autopilot. I don't see the challenge in games like that.
Yeah.
You know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is, like this is something that I didn't quite understand because. Okay, I'm gonna make a confession here. I used to have the DMC reboot.
I feel sorry for you.
Yes, I know.
Burn this man.
Hey, Brian.
Burn me for blasphemy.
Brian, I'm on the same page as you because I actually have it.
Yeah,
kill that man.
No, to be fair, all of us who are fans gave it a try. To be fair.
And okay, the funny thing is, gameplay for the most part was solid, but it was definitely one of those games you could breeze through. But here's the funny thing, though: most of the difficulties I breezed through them, and then I tried like Dante Must Die mode, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna breeze through this, no problem. Some of those fights and some of the enemies just made it so frustratingly difficult just to at least do the usual creative tactics.
You mean color-coded enemies?
It wasn't even the color-coded enemies. It was like those enemies where you could just be pounding on them relentlessly, and they just back you off, and then they come at you with some stuff you ain't never even seen, and then it's game over.
Rip.
I beat DMD in one shot in that game. No death. I don't know. I'm too used to DMC 3 where they really hammer your fucking brains in on DMD. That DMC 3 is like the epitome of difficult games for me.
The original DMC 3, that was as hard as the very first Ninja Gaiden on the very first Xbox.
Yeah, the original.
Ninja Gaiden 2 was even harder to me.
And the original normal was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still would say DMD on DMC 3 is pretty fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, all of them, all Democrat games except for Dante Must Die is pretty difficult. But I say 1 and 3 are like difficult for different reasons.
Or pseudo difficult, depends.
The funny thing about 1? The funny thing about 1 is the fact that I could breeze through I want to say I could breeze through half of DMC 1 on DMD mode just fine. Some of the boss battles would probably drive me crazy, but I could still get through them. The thing that killed me though was fighting Mundus on DMD mode because
flight section.
What is it?
The flight section.
The part where you're flying is super Dante technically.
No, that wasn't the part that drove me crazy. What drove me crazy was fighting him on the ground. And it wasn't even that all of his attacks would get me. It was the fact that he would do an attack. Yeah, like he would do an attack that would break the rocks, and the rocks would kill me.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know how many times I died against Mundus? 50 times.
Yeah, because like it wouldn't even be anything that Mundus attacks you with. Because, like, if he punches you, he blasts you, he summons that dragon, he fires little ray needles at you. It's like, you could get through all that. Oh, no. He breaks a rock. Rock conks you on the head. Game over.
For me, it was the flight simulator because of how the way they did it. And the inverted control, I fucking hated that. The second part, I didn't have as much trouble with. The first part drove me crazy.
Yeah, I know your pain.
Either way,
you guys
inverted
Mellow Angelo?
Yeah,
I'm glad they're not bringing that stupid mechanic back because it did not work.
What was it?
The whole flying thing with the rail shooter section with like the Star Fox thing. That's what killed me the most.
And yet people want Kami to work on another Devil May Cry.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, no, don't. I'm
you know what the sad thing is? The sad thing is, that wouldn't even have happened if Capcom had let him work on Devil May Cry 2. We could have had a completely different Devil May Cry if they had let Kamiya keep it, but Capcom made the stupid decision of giving it to somebody else.
Capcom.
But admittedly though, I'm glad Uno's on it though, because he's doing a good job. I do have little complaints about his direction with Devil May Cry, but so far he's doing a fantastic job.
He really is.
He got the gameplay down pat. He's better at Kami, in my opinion, than
well, he's worked on fighting games, so like that
helps. He did fighting games, and he made Dragon's Dogma as well. So
yeah, he has a lot on his resume.
And I think he also made Rival Schools. Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, fighting games.
I definitely didn't know that.
Rival Schools hype.
Rival School for the win. That game was awesome. I like how he also said in the interviews that he took things that he learned from certain games and he used them, applied them to Devil May Cry.
Yeah. I don't want to stay on this topic too long. I do want to transition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, please transition.
I think Ren, you brought this here. Tom Clancy's The Division teasing December 17th reveal.
Are they gonna delay the game again?
I don't know.
Well, again, they already did because guess what? Today's the 19th.
Old news.
Yep, and I did not hear any news or anything, so it must have been either a very minuscule thing or either this game is already getting swept under the rug in my opinion. I'm not really looking forward to it.
I think Watch Dogs really killed it, and not to mention the fact that it was announced to be an always online game.
Yeah.
So,
even Watch Dogs is more hype than this. I mean, goddamn.
Oh yeah, running down the street holding square to get $1 million in like 2 seconds. Really hype.
Oh god. Well, I will admit, their trailer where they showed the first gameplay where you cruise around the streets and they got into that really intense firefight. It looked impressive for the time being, but like now seeing it all scaled down and having the driving physics just play like crap, it really killed that game's momentum.
It's like GTA 4.
Yeah, it felt worse than GTA 4 actually. At least I can go back to that game, play it, and enjoy it. Well, Watch Dogs is a whole different story. It's actually uninstalled off my hard drive right now.
Fuck that game.
Unless if anybody else has anything to say, I guess we can.
No, the Division is
dead. Because this game no one cares a shit about.
We don't need Watch Dogs 2, Ubisoft.
Watch Dogs 2.
It's gonna happen.
Watch Dogs 2 is a better game than The Division.
When are you gonna take Assassin's Creed out of business?
But you're whole fools, Jamie.
So, Konami is looking for new employees for the new Metal Gear.
No.
Nope. Nobody joined
Metal Gear is done to Konami. I don't know if you know that.
Here's the thing. If
I'll go to
developers,
Capcom before I go to Konami.
if the developers are smart enough, they will back the fuck down. Be like, nope, out of this shit. Out.
Not buying it. I hope it's the worst selling game in the series. Konami really screwed the pooch with the stuff that happened with Kojima. It was just bad PR. And I know there's gonna be people that's like, nope, not interested in this game. Fuck Konami.
Konami, might I remind you of Metal Gear 2: Snake's Revenge?
Oh man.
Yeah. What about Metal Gear? What about Metal Gear for the NES?
Yeah, or Metal Gear for the NES. Cause
actually, some jackass tried to say that shit was canon. Those games were canon instead of MS.
Not canon.
No,
actually, no. The only ones that were
canon
were Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. They were canon.
Yeah, not the
NES
games.
Not the NES one. No, the one that was originally played, aka the ones that were shown for Metal Gear Solid 3.
His fucking excuse was, oh, we got those in America. Those are the only games we got in America. And while that's true, I will still have done my homework on that.
Well, that kind of is a moot point because considering that the HD version of 3 plus substance of 3 had the originals, so it's kind of a moot point.
It is very moot at this point. You can just go out and buy. How are you a Metal Gear fan and you don't have Metal Gear Solid Legacy or HD Collection? It blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually had originally for the.
It's on the original too. If you have.
I had the. Sorry, I had the. Fuck.
Shut up.
No, go ahead. I just wanted to point out that they were on the original subsistence disc. Those games.
True. Yeah. It's like, well, then again, they got the subsistence and not the fucking original because, I think copyright. Because of Sony. But I don't know. It's like, it's sad because I had the HD. You want to know something sad? The first time I ever got the HD collection, it was on the fucking 360.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, you know what I did? I made up some bullshit excuse that it didn't work, so I took it back. And so later on, I waited because I didn't have a PS3, so I waited some more. Now, so when I got my PS3, Legacy Edition.
That's nice.
Legacy Collection.
Do you have the little booklet that they give you with it?
Yeah, I actually do have the booklet.
Yeah. Where it shows you like all the different advertisements and posters and whatnot.
And English, Japanese, and all that. That was actually a nice piece of history.
Yeah, all of them have booklets except I think Metal Gear Solid 5 does not have one because of the online bullshit booklet.
Well, no. Legacy Collection came out before Ground Zeroes was even out, so the only thing they had was like a promotional poster with like mirrored text, so it was all backwards, basically.
That's weird.
But they did that on purpose, I think. I don't know why. That might have been the whole thing of from Fox to Phantoms Are Born thing that they were going for originally, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, unless if anybody else has any opinions on Konami, hashtag fuck you Konami.
Yeah, hey, here's one. I hope the next game is so bad you give people back their money.
Oh, they won't do that.
Right to.
Spoiler
No, they
alert.
won't.
Yo, spoiler alert, they won't.
Yeah, they're gonna pocket that.
Yep. Anyway, DDoS attackers take down Xbox Live and threaten to do so with the PlayStation Network.
Can you guys just leave it alone?
Here's the thing. There's some people that can't really enjoy Christmas. Like, sure, you're going to get a lot of new consoles for Christmas and possibly, but why is it that you're going to take away a child or anyone's experience with the game?
Exactly.
It's like, oh,
yeah, like what?
It's like, oh, you got me the new you got me Black Ops 3. I'm gonna go play this online. No,
They said something about because Sony lied.
No. It's like, yeah, they lied about upgrading their system
security. Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Some faggot little cunt is actually gonna come out of nowhere and say, I'm gonna hack your system because I fucking don't like people. I don't have any friends, so I'm gonna let everyone else. No more.
I mean, like, just to like give an example, like imagine if because not everyone gets to spend time with their family members on Christmas. Maybe one person is like off and away somewhere, so they have a console to maybe like play games with said other person that's in their family or that's friends with them or whatever. So like, why would you do that? That basically cuts off their connection with them in terms of gaming. Like, it makes no sense to me.
People make no sense at times. Yes, thank you.
And they want to cause misery for others. I mean, there are people out there in this world that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said.
SJWs.
It's like I said, they have no friends.
what they don't get is they're not really doing anything that's causing an impact. If anything,
It's
they're
really
just
not.
making themselves look bad.
And then on top of that,
oh,
go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I had nothing. No, I had nothing else to add. I'm sorry. I had it, but it went in my head.
I was gonna say, and then on top of that, think about the ones who at least do have family that have been good to them and they've been good to them back. It's like even if they don't have games to play online for any part of the day, they still got the family. So like if PSN Xbox Live was shut down for me for Christmas, I got family I'm gonna be around, and on top of that, my family is always entertaining. So it's me, parents, older sister, brother-in-law, not to mention 3 kids, a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a soon-to-be 1-year-old that's not too far from walking.
Nice.
Plus the regular internet itself too, anyway, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
You got all that.
And porn. I'm just kidding.
Speaking of which, just a quick side note. So apparently something that happened here in Georgia was that there was a truck driver who caused a crash that killed 5 college girl students. That's already sad enough as it is, right?
Yeah.
Tell me why one of the Atlanta news stations that reported this, they said that what might have caused the driver to crash into them was the fact that he was texting while driving, and for some reason they mentioned he had porn in the back of his truck. What does that have to do with the crash?
You could be distracted by anything. As long as it's keeping your eyes off the road, it doesn't matter.
But here's the thing. It was in the back of the truck he was driving.
But
that's not even relevant to the girl stuff.
You can't, but that doesn't, people are stupid.
Like, it's like I saw this on Facebook, and then I saw the comments. Everybody was saying the same thing. What does the porn have to do with the crash? It's like, what did he plan on trying to get these girls in bed after he crashed into them? What?
What did I get back to? I leave for like 2 minutes and I hear all this. I think it's good that we transition at this point.
The media's retardation, nothing else.
That's pretty much the whole
okay,
point
so
of
we
that
got
story.
BioShock trying to what is it? BioShock are starting to disappear. Single player narratives, big single player narratives are starting to disappear according to BioShock.
We just had The Witcher. What are you talking about? We had Fallout 4.
I have Shenmue 3 coming.
Just 5.
Yeah, we have a lot of games coming out with really strong narrative. So to say that it's a lack of that is very, very. It's like a misnomer at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a big misnomer. It's so many games that have a strong narrative in it that you'd be hard pressed to find any game, and I'm excluding fighting games for a reason. Except unless it's like, MK or whatever, but
or Blaze Blue.
You know what? Screw Blaze Blue.
The last fighting game story that wowed me was Tekken 3.
I think that as far as games with single-player narratives go, one of the things that he has to keep in mind is it seems to me like he's coming from a perspective of, well, this was just AAA games. There are a lot of games that obviously are not AAA. A lot of the stuff by Nipponichi and Atlas I don't think are necessarily AAA games, but they do have, they are single-player, they do have that narrative. If he's talking more specifically about FPS, then you guys given some great examples of that, but there's still lots of games with story.
I do think that maybe it's just me, but I do think that some independent games are also having a very strong narrative with what they are presenting. That's just me. I mean, the AAA games, they still have it these days, but I think that a lot of independent games are also catching up, so to speak.
Undertale.
Yeah, and a lot of other games that I sort of played this year, they're kind of catching up, but it's always a market for games with very strong single player, and I really don't like the philosophy of they don't exist or they're just ripping them out because people care just about multiplayer and that's it. I think that's very falsified.
That's bullshit.
It's
Yeah.
And don't forget the ever popular. Don't forget the ever popular. Oh, this narrative is sexist to women because something bad happens to her. There's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
almost
just
a
ridiculous.
it's almost a mentality that because of the fact that games such as Call of Duty or Modern Warfare, or even a lot of MMO games or things like that, because these are talked about so much and these are in the media a lot, especially YouTube, things like that, well, therefore that means they're more popular, therefore that means that they are getting more presence than single-player games, which just seems like a very bad conclusion they're making.
Mm-hmm. I think we're done with that topic, unless if anybody else wants to
No.
share any
Just
thoughts.
The
No,
media is full
that
of
was pretty good.
Yeah, I
yeah,
got
that was
nothing
pretty
to
good
that.
segue
that's
there.
the story.
Yep. So our second to last topic is Keiji Inafune on Kojima, Nintendo, and fans' misconceptions.
KG, shut up.
Keiji, you have literally become
Keiji.
Japanese to me Mantoniades at this point.
Keiji.
That's all you are to me.
Japanese to me and confirm.
Hey, Kaiji. Okay, Kaiji. Okay, I'm gonna level with you. There are times where I thought you did really well. You did Mega Man. You did Dead Rising.
You did Onimusha.
Yeah. And why is it? Also, wait, what? He's actually. You were also in Hyperdimension Neptunia as a summon character.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bonnie will like that.
Yeah. No.
Victor.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that he has made, and there's a lot of games that have potential. But there's a
All
problem
games
with
are
it.
crap.
No. There's two problems with it. Number one, Mighty Number 9. You depended on both fans and you depended on money. And guess what? It's delayed till next year.
Again.
And it's gonna be
Number
crap
two.
anyway.
Number 2. You make great games, but they end up being canceled. Mega Man Legends 3, Kylo King of Pirates. That actually looked pretty cool, but no, you canceled it because I need money.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to have for the first time ever, I'm going to have to agree with Kamita that he's just a businessman. He's pumping out games for money. He's feeding off of people's nostalgia, especially with Red Ash and especially with Mighty Number 9. I think that his artistic vision has dried up to complete oblivion at this point, and I really don't care what the man has to say because all he sees is dollar signs.
Yeah. Not only that, he ruined Capcom.
Yeah, and he ruined Capcom because of his philosophy that
evil son of a bitch.
And he ruined Mega Man.
Koei Tecmo's Ninja Gaiden Z Yaiba is basically Capcom's DMC. That's basically what it is. And here's the thing, I think it was Tyler Valle that made a video on Inafune. I mean, it should say something when even Japanese developers are saying that Keiji Inafune is a bad developer or is a bad businessman and you shouldn't trust him with your money or with anything that he's making because all he's doing is going off of your nostalgia. I will tell you this right now. If you think that, Keiji Inafune is a good businessman, I would not support him if he came out with an Onimusha spiritual successor. I would not do it. Because we've seen what he's done to Capcom. We've seen what he's done with Mighty Number 9.
Wait,
and
who's
we
this?
see how he handles
KJ
money.
Inafune.
Oh,
we just see how he handles money, and it's just a piss poor job. And it's not the Inafune that you knew back when he was at Capcom, back when he was actually a good developer and a good, company employee over at Capcom.
He's a Japanese Tim Schafer.
He sold out. He sold out. That's just the reality of the situation.
Sell out. He's a hack. You're weak. You're whack. You're a hack.
You're weak. You're hack. You're whack.
But we can move on to the final topic, I guess. Unless if anybody else has anything else.
I got some stuff to bring up. Just some fighting game related stuff.
Actually, that was the last thing.
Okay.
Sorry, because we had 2 articles on the whole Keiji Inafune thing. Sorry about that.
Is that fighting games related?
What was that, Kaneki?
I said, did you said fighting games related?
Yeah, it's about I think Street Fighter and Tekken and some other stuff. And just go ahead, for the article.
No, it's the same thing. It's just from another journalist site.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So we pretty much covered everything. I thought it was another.
Okay, well, as some of you guys know, Okuma's in Tekken 7. How do you guys feel about that?
Wait, who?
It's not a bad idea.
Okuma.
Who cares?
Okay,
can you send me a link to that, by the way?
Well, I didn't see a link to that. I gave you the trailer.
Okay, here's the thing that I will say. Let's start off with this. For anybody who follows Main Event, then y'all probably would have seen his recent gaming video, right?
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
and
that's my boy.
And he mentioned a thing about how based on from what the trailer's saying, you know, Akuma apparently made some sort of deal with Heihachi's wife Kazumi like decades ago. And the thing is, if that's the case, at the very least, Akuma should be a little bit closer to Heihachi's age than anything. But then it's like, you know, Street Fighter 4, he more or less looks the same, he just got that sort of wrinkled skin and that nose. And
in Street Fighter 3, he does have gray. He does have gray hair.
Yeah, it's like Street Fighter 3, it's like he's starting to have that gray, but that doesn't seem to be the appearance he's getting in Tekken 7. And then on top of that, it's like, if it's supposed to be something that was made decades ago, how would that really fit in the timeline? Because if that's the case, then Akuma would have to have fought Heihachi when he was young.
I guess what they can do.
Oh, here's the thing I see it though. This could not be canon towards Street Fighter, but it's canon towards Tekken. So this could be like same Akuma we know, but he's different from Street Fighter 1.
And I think what they might do is they might shoehorn in some stuff that we haven't seen. Like, there might be some... They can always do that. I know it's lame, but they can always just shoehorn some stuff that we haven't seen, like, might have happened behind the scenes and explain it in this game, so it'll make better sense.
Kuma never his age either.
Yeah,
that was going to be the next thing. Huh. Like if him having the Satsui no Hado doesn't make him age, then okay, fine. Because let's be honest, Kazumi's supposed to be dead, but she looks about the same way she does when her and Heihachi were together. So that could have been the Devil Gene thing going on.
But this is before Tekken 1 as well, so that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry to get off topic, but Inafune, I think there's one thing that we can never forgive Inafune for.
What's that?
Designing the fucking character of Yonoid.
Oh, really? That was...
Yeah, he made he was the graphics designer, and he's also made the illustrations for that shitty game.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Yonoid. Remember when Domino's had they were doing a game, it was like, for Domino's, watch John Tron's video about it, you'll see what that is.
Okay.
It's under Food Games Part 2. But I still can't believe that motherfucker actually made fucking Yonoid. This character as the design for the character. God! Yonoid was terrible!
To take us back on topic, someone was saying maybe Tekken and Street Fighter are in the same universe.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with Tekken and Street Fighter, so you all are going to have to,
But that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard to get the Tekken realist in. It's going to be hard.
In theory, it could be, considering Street Fighter X Tekken kind of shoehorn them together. I mean, I know it's a non-canon game, but I know they made it work in Street Fighter X Tekken, so they could make it work here.
But, Brandon, you think this has anything to do with Tekken X Street Fighter?
Tekken X Street Fighter?
Honestly, the lead into that.
Yes, actually, I do. Well, as what, canon story, or just like the game itself?
As a canon story.
Oh, that, and I highly doubt it, because Street Fighter Tekken is not even canon towards both universes as well. So I highly doubt that.
Now, granted, the only thing I myself would say to that is that if they're putting Akuma in to test how he would do in a Tekken environment, and that's for if they ever do Tekken cross Street Fighter, then I get it. But because of this going on, people have been saying like, "Oh, there's no Tekken Cross Street Fighter." It's like, is that official? It's like I'd like to hear something official first.
Oh, that's not official. It's still in development.
Okay.
From what Harada said, it was like I think it was a couple of years ago, right after Tekken 7 is finished. Tekken X Street Fighter is like coming up.
Drop, yeah.
I mean, couldn't this also be potentially hinting at other Tekken characters coming into Street Fighter, whether it be in-game, like as an unlockable, or just DLC characters?
I would imagine like 1 or 2.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, I'm not saying like an entire roster, just like maybe like up to 2 to say 5 other characters that are in there, and it'd just be like. I wouldn't necessarily say like a ballad or anything, but just like fan favorite characters or just characters we're not seeing in Street Fighter V.
Yeah, because Harada and Uno, they're friends, so it's obvious to see that they're sharing characters. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. No, the character I could actually see come into Street Fighter V from Tekken is Jin Cosmo. Like he fits the motif the best, in my opinion. That's a Street Fighter character.
I love how everyone thought Eddie Goro was coming into Street Fighter V. That's a thing now.
People are gonna spam fucking X and circle all over.
I don't give a fuck. Where's my man Eddie?
I mean,
Eddie, go look him up in Tekken.
Eddie
Goro. After what happened with Christy being in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I don't think anybody wants to relive that.
Oh, you can't handle the mix-up, King?
No, man, that was broken. Get it.
That is broken. I'm sorry to say, everyone did that. Or a fucking X circle, X circle, X circle. It's like, come on. I just want to hit you.
Else. I don't even play fighting games because I'm bad at them, but I at least try to mix up my gun.
You better be playing DOA with us, mister, in the future.
Maybe.
I'm sure you can.
No, maybe. Try, damn it. It's free.
Maybe. I'm not good at fighting games.
Hey, look, think of it this way. So Tilius is probably worse at the game than you'll ever be, Dom.
I guarantee he'd probably win against me. Jin versus Ryu needs to be canon, makes sense. I'm still waiting for Dino Crisis Spiritual Successor by Shinji Mikami. Actually, I think Shinji was talking, and this is unrelated, but I think Shinji was talking about that during the Evil Within's development. He was talking about wanting to doing a Dino Crisis Spiritual Successor. Unfortunately, based off of Dino Crisis 3, but we won't talk about that game.
Yeah, Dino Crisis 3 don't exist.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, that's all the topics for today. I want to thank all of the guests that we had on for coming here, whether it's their first time here or for returning. So thank you so much for coming on today. And I hope everyone here who watched the podcast enjoyed it. So since this is the last one of the year, I hope to bring many more in the near future.
Thank you. Don't worry. You're worthless humans for the views.
And also have a Merry fucking Christmas and to all a good goddamn night.
Yeah, this bastard's drunk.
And a happy fucking New Year.
You're drunk. Go to sleep.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.